Hey, you little freaks. Welcome back to Crown of Fire Tarot. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to do a career reading because it's about to be the astrological new year, Sun in Aries, and many. Let's see. Oh, hey, welcome back to that reading that we talked about. As promised, we're going to be looking at some career prospects, some opportunities that may lay ahead for us this year, especially as the new astrological new year is rolling in with the energy of Aries, the Ram. So a great time to start new things, realize new opportunities, step into open doors is right now. So what we have here: Nine of Cups, Seven of Wands, Two of Swords, all reversed. Actually, this looks to me like great news because the story I'm getting here is the decision's already been made. The battle's already been won. And it's past the time to sit around and hope and dream and imagine, right? That's all in the past. Which to me means, of course, that we're ready for action, ready for motion. It does feel like this is only half the story here if we're talking about opportunities, so let's keep shuffling. Well, this one was turned around in the deck, Magician. So let's just pull that out. Were there any others? Are there any others turned around in the deck? No, not that I see. Well, that's really interesting. I mean, that's telling me that I'm right about this reading, that this is the now. This is the work we've already done, and this is where we're at. I'm going to see if there's any more messages the universe wants to give us about opportunities that are on the horizon, like what they look like, how we'll know them when we see them. We're definitely ready to take them on, like that much is clear. Okay, a message about the opportunities. Temperance reversed, Knight of Cups reversed, Ten of Wands reversed. Ten of Wands upright. The emotional work has also been done here, and we are ready to take on our great task, our great responsibility for the big game. We're ready for the big game. So I guess to answer the question that I was asking the cards, we'll know it when we see it because we already know what it is. It's something that's been in our purview for a long time. It's something we've been working towards consciously or unconsciously, semi-consciously, let's say, but somewhere deep down, you know that we're talking about your purpose. This opportunity has to do with your purpose in life, your calling, something that you feel is your great task or responsibility. So that's very interesting. So next up is the strengths that you're bringing to the table. Okay, so as you move further into the new year, and towards these opportunities, what are the strengths you're bringing to the table? The first ones that came out, so let's look at those first, were Ten of Swords and Three of Pentacles. You're a really hard worker. I mean, and that is fucking gold, right? If you have that work ethic, you know you're going to succeed. You already know that. Everybody knows. Because the thing is, you're really smart. I think you're practical. I think you don't bring as much pride. You don't bring as much pride. And I hate to say it, but I'm just saying that's like a strength here for you. Maybe we could return to that. So we also have the Justice card, the Four of Swords. I mean, you as a boss, you're fair. You treat people fairly. You rule with a kid glove or whatever, I don't know, velvet glove or whatnot. I think you're probably like one of those team leaders that everybody's best friend. So you kind of like rule in a way that's not overt. And so people respond well to that. So these are kind of the advantages you have, I would say, either in the workplace or as your own boss, as an entrepreneur. I still kind of wonder about this Ten of Swords. I guess we could try to get clarity on that Ten of Swords before we move on. But we could also just get clarity as we read more. This one's talking to me a little bit. So 8 of Cups. So the Ten of Swords and the 8 of Cups, they're both like an ending energy, a leaving energy, a moving on from something energy. It's been done to death. It's been done as done can be, and it's time to move on. And I guess maybe, so that's going to be probably a strength of attitude that you bring to this great task. So now I want to talk about some weaknesses or blind spots that you may not be aware of, but being able to pinpoint them and confront them or compensate for them or whatever it may be is going to be to your advantage, no doubt. Any weaknesses or blind spots that we should be aware of? Queen of Pentacles. I mean, you're like a good person, a good, sweet person. You're very caring and nurturing, and you know, you can't just be that way all the time in business. But sometimes you have to like get burned before you learn that. So either maybe, I don't know, you probably know this about yourself because this is probably not only in business, right? Sometimes the nicest people are targets for, you know, they taking advantage of their targets. People who want to take advantage of them, they can tell. They can tell a fool, and me included, okay? So that's a potential weakness or blind spot you need to be aware of. But I think you are aware of that. So if there's anything else, maybe I'll talk to the tarot of the she then. If there's anything else, can you tell us more? If there's more that we need to know about the Queen of Pentacles as a weakness or a blind spot for us in terms of our career, especially this year. Are we too nice? Yeah, we kind of like lack authority maybe. We lack, it's easy for us to say, oh, whatever you want, sure, get it to me whenever. Maybe we lack structure in our own lives, and it's hard for us to hold others accountable. Or maybe we are very structured in our own lives, and it's hard for us to demand that from others. Even if we expect that from others, when they don't come through, we might not stand our ground. We might suffer in silence. That's not healthy. So Warrior 9 also, yeah, you have to like demand that respect because you're feeling disrespected. You are getting disrespected. Yeah, that's a weakness. So the fact of the matter is, yeah. Be aware of that going into whatever the situation is, because you can fix this. This is something you've been working on. Now I want to talk about the external factors that may be at play that are going to affect how we receive our opportunities, how we approach our opportunities, what kinds of decisions we make around them. What are the external factors at play? No doubt there are many. First 2 would be Knight of Wands. First 3 would be Knight of Wands, 6 of Swords, and Knight of Pentacles reversed. The Knight of Wands could be a person who gives you the opportunity. I suppose in that sense, the Knight of Pentacles could also be a person who gives you the opportunity. But I'm feeling that more for Knight of Wands. And then for this, I'm feeling 6 of Swords. It's sort of it's like an opposite type energy to me of the Knight of Pentacles, especially reversed here, because this is already kind of a solid energy, at least as far as the Knights go. Like the Knight of Pentacles is a more grounded figure. And the fact that he's reversed sort of indicates, again, like just a slow pace. Whereas this indicates moving on from sort of one way of thinking about the world to a new way of thinking about the world, which just, has the opposite energy in my mind from the Knight of Pentacles, which wants to stay, go. So in terms of external factors at play, I mean, that's kind of like a universal and timeless one, but it's also at play really in your everyday life and in our lives. Maybe we can get a little more specificity here. Yeah, the Two of Wands is like new land. Like you're an explorer. You're going to go conquer the globe. So yeah, that's what that like that was for me, is with that Six of Swords energy. You want to get out there and sail the open seas. The Knight of Pentacles to me is opposite that vibe right now, but let's see. Resisting change, questioning the progress made so far, ingratitude. These are like the dueling energies as far as I can see it right now. And then at the bottom of the deck, I have the Three of Wands here. So a decision does get made. I don't know if it's a decision about this opportunity sort of that's offered here, or if the decision sort of pertains to like you being a spiritual warrior or something. I don't know. No, but this is you with your staff. This is you on your way to perform your great task. So cool. Now we're going to talk specifically about the challenges we may face as we venture on our path. What kinds of challenges, obstacles should we look out for? Should we prepare for? Should we expect? We want to be prepared for anything. King of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords. I'm just going to try to like decode this. The Queen of Wands is ruling because the Queen of Swords is ruling because the King of Swords cannot. I don't know why not. Cannot, will not. Hard to say. So the Queen of Swords then is ruling for that reason. And it's, according to the symbolism of the tarot at least, sort of a perversion of the natural order. It's dangerous. Without the king's rulership, we're talking symbolically here, without the rightly ordered rulership here, we're missing out on something. Because look, the Queen of Swords is sideways. She's in profile here. We don't really get the knowledge straight on, the truth straight on, head on, the way that we do symbolically from the King of Swords. So of course that is a huge challenge. That is a huge challenge. If we don't have the truth, how can we make informed decisions? So yeah, the challenge is that the truth is not self-evident. And let's just go ahead and get some advice for that challenge. I hear you. The truth is not self-evident. What do we do? The truth is not self-evident. What do we do? Fight? Or rather, I don't know. Don't fight? I don't know. Let's see what the other cards say. Queen of Cups. We do Queen of Cups upright. We speak the truth. We speak the truth right from our fucking little hearts. right from our little hearts. That's what we do. The truth as we know it. The truth as we knew it before. Maybe you can't believe your eyes. And maybe you do have to let your defenses down. And you can't go with your first impulse because your impulses can be manipulated. Your impulses can pull you any which way, you know? You have to make up for that lack of objectivity that the King of Swords is supposed to give us. That, like, brutal clarity. You have to, since the world doesn't offer that to us right now, and, like, I'm talking about, like, it's hard to know what's the truth, right? It's hard to know who to trust in terms of media outlets. It's hard to believe anything you see anywhere these days because the AI is so rampant and the propaganda is so rampant. So we really have to do our due diligence, try to have media literacy, try to trust our instincts, try to talk to people we trust and believe in. Because, like I said, our impulses can be manipulated. Now, the Three of Wands is a little more stable here. You've got your little domain. And within this domain, you know what is true. You know, you have a certain amount of education, life skills, knowledge. You know, you have intelligent people around you. You inform yourself. And you're not fucking stupid. And if you, as long as you're paying attention, as long as you're asking your intuition to talk to you, then you're going to be okay. That's the advice here. Also, I'm seeing here with these three cards that fell out just now while I was trying to end the reading. Book it. 1 second. Just another warning, another challenge that we have is to avoid temptation, because that spiritual energy, that root of that spiritual energy is sexual, you know, and it's easy to send that energy to a different place, a less creative place. I mean, it's creative in terms of like generating tiny humans and like continuing the species, but you can also, if you don't want to participate in that particular way, you can of course guide your creative energy, that sexual energy, into just more deliberate places. So it's kind of like a minefield out there, but you'll be okay. Trust yourself. Just be aware. Potential outcome or direction. I'm calling it career path, but we talked about it as sort of like the path, the calling for you. These cards are a bit much. Okay, beautiful. 10 of Wands. You are going to get to your destination and you're going to lay down those rods. You're going to lay down that responsibility having completed it. And it's going to be the most beautiful feeling in the fucking world. It's going to be the most beautiful feeling you've ever experienced. This was actually the other way when I found it. FYI. And that's beautiful because this is your destiny. Sorry, like, this is your destiny. You still have to do it. You still have to choose to do it. You still have to pick up the fucking rods. But you will be handsomely rewarded. That's the potential outcome. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and it makes me just want to talk to the tarot of the sheet real quick. This is the one that just fell right out. The Warrior, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, again, that sexual energy, but in this case we're talking about this beautiful breakthrough energy here. It's the same, you know what I mean? This is like they're sharing space. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands, they're sharing space within your body. You know what I mean? It's the same motivating force in this case. Okay, and these other cards came out at the same time and fell on the floor. So to me, they tell a story. We've got one for each section that we covered previously with the Rider-Waite deck. So again, we have Three of Swords, Dreamer 3. In terms of opportunities, they might not be, You know, it might not be what we imagined. But never fear, because you are very strong and protected, and your foundation, you have great foundations. And we're talking about like your family, your life experience. You're just really smart and you have a good support system, and you're going to be all right. That's what I see. And, but, you know, I mean, that's not to say you're perfect. Everybody can be their own worst enemy. And if you don't already have an enemy, your mind will make one up. You know what I'm saying? You'll be out there fighting the ghosts and the demons. So just be careful. Try to keep an objective view. Try to stay grounded. Try to keep your mind right, in other words. And, man, don't trust everybody. Okay? You might have a tendency to be a little naive, and you might believe that everybody's in it for the same reasons you are, and they're not. Newsflash. So be wary of the people that rub you wrong. If somebody comes off in a way that feels disingenuous to you, you're allowed to take space and ask questions. That's all I'll say about that. External factors at play. I mean, this is simply like a lack of like free flowing money. Like, we're talking about like the economy, the constriction of the economy, the hoarding of wealth. So that's a problem for everyone. And the good news is you are a strong person, and you're going to have to lean into that. That's their advice for you. Ride the wave, ride the dragon, man. Make the most of it. Look, she looks like she's having fun. She looks like she's having a lot of fun. She's using it to her advantage. And that is something that I know you're capable of as well. So the final move here is I'm going to pull an oracle card. Something I don't often do, but feels right for today. Just one card here. Shekinah. Number 6. The spiritual worlds want to help you resolve your worldly concerns. Well, that's good news. It is safe for you to rely on spirit as a loving, protective, helpful, and practical presence able to positively affect all areas of your life, including facilitating the resolution of physical problems. Do not limit your personality to concepts. Instead, apply your higher knowledge and principles. Grow your wisdom and live your path. Acknowledge your value as a person, as a soul. Treasure the gift of your path, and let your spirituality integrate with all facets of your life. Well, ain't that the motherfucking truth? Beautiful advice for all of us at this time. The goddess wanted to give us one more message. So we also have Ishtar's Lion Gate 888. Your heart has a heightened connection with the higher realms of consciousness and light. A blessing, empowerment, and positive omen shall enter your world. Doors will open for you. Abundance and prosperity are headed your way. Take care of your heart. Ask for spiritual assistance, and it shall be granted. Something negative is going to transform into something very positive. Well, hell yeah. Thank you so much for doing this with me. If you made it this far, you might as well tell me in the comments why the fuck you stuck around. Just kidding. Love you very much, and let's do this again sometime.